All right, guys. Guess what? It's more Christian time. Who would we could only be so lucky. Yeah, so yesterday after I got off of my stream reviewing Chris Jan's other video, which was an amazing sermon, really. It was a sermon for the Church of Christian. This is the only thing I could say. But after I watched that, they posted another video disavowing, rather setting the record straight, and effectively telling us that what happened between her and her mother is not true. It's like, okay. And I personally, it's been a while since I've looked at some of the stuff, but I remember otherwise. I remember very otherwise. And so I have this short little thing here, and I want to read through this because I'm feeling like I'm getting confused. The misinformation is possibly disinformation. I think that she's lying. That's what I think. I think she had a good lawyer. So first, let's read through the jail saga. Let's do this. This is a whole, this is crazy, by the way. This is a whole Wikipedia devoted to Christian. Truly is what the heck did I just do? Truly is the most well-documented and recorded person ever. And my wife and I are actually going to talk about it on our podcast on Sunday. Just keep Robert Dan in the description. Anyway, let's zoom in and start reading the jail saga just to get us caught up on all the specific. Oh, you can't zoom in. It's a Wikipedia page. That's incredible. Oh, I love life. Following allegations in late July and eventual confirmation that Chris has committed incest with Barb, hundreds of people contacted the Greene County Police, and authorities conducted a welfare check on the Chandler home, issuing an emergency protective order on Chris the following day. Essentially, a temporary week-long restraining order. You know what's interesting? YouTube has come out with new guidelines that say that you can talk more about more intense topics like abortion and stuff like this as long as you're not super explicit, which we're not going to be. And I wonder, was that preparation for Christian? We don't know. I don't know. YouTube conspiracy. Chris was made temporarily homeless and stayed at the Richmond Residency Inn. In the meantime, Chris was arrested on the 1st of August, 2021. Outside of the inn, the arrest was captured live streamed by several onlookers. Surprisingly, despite Chris's past history with the law, he made no attempt to resist arrest and was cooperative with the police. Wow, incredible stuff. Oh, this isn't even scrolling. This is incredible. Guys, I'm actually going to go to the bathroom in my pants. Okay, fantastic. Oh, you can zoom in. It was just broken. Oh my God, this is my favorite day. From the 2nd of August, 2021 until his release on the 27th of March. My birthday! Wow, what a birthday gift. Thank you, Christina Weston Chandler Reno. Chris had been an inmate at the Central Virginia Regional Jail, save for a brief stint at Western State Hospital, while awaiting legal proceedings for the charge of incest. The Greene County Sheriff's Office had claimed pending charges yet to be identified were also being considered. I wonder if it's the Great Fanta mystery. I don't know. But no further charges have emerged as of March 2023. Chris was arraigned on 5th of August 2021 and was being held without bond. Hearings in November 2021, February 2022, and July 2022 resulted in continuances. Okay, I believe that's when you continue the trial. Guys, context clues. Think about words. Since his arrest, Chris' only contact with the outside world has been through written correspondence and phone calls, which began in August 2021 and continued through February 2022. On the 28th of February 2022, Chris was transferred from the Central Virginia Regional Jail to Western State Hospital, a mental institution. That's probably appropriate. I don't know how good their mental institutions are, but yeah, that's probably appropriate. Listen, we can sit here and talk about it up, down, left, right, and sideways, but Chris not only has autism, but also massive behavioral problems for multiple reasons. One, because her parents are so old, had her at like such a late age. It's like a real thing. It's very difficult to have kids. There's generally more complications, but you don't really have the energy to keep up with your kids. Another one is I don't think that Chris has had a genuine relationship with anybody their entire life. Whether it was her father, because I watched like 70 parts of the 80-part Christian documentary. Okay, I might react to another one soon. Okay. One of the things was like the dad paid girls to hang out with him. Like, then after that, being relentlessly trolled on the internet. No relationships. Every single one was just an attempt to hang out with him in a pickle suit or fuck with him in some way. Or her, whatever. You get my point. Them. Easier like that. Yeah, and it's just like nothing has been genuine their entire life. Every relationship is to get, make fun of them, pickle suit, shove your medallion up your butt, poop on it. Really horrible stuff. There's been no genuine relationship. It's all been an attempt to troll. And while people might think it's funny, and I'm not going to lie, I've laughed at some of it, the reality is that's completely destroyed this person's perception of the world to the point where they think that Chalk Zone is real. And that, coupled with the fact that that one person, I think their name was Isabella Janke, was encouraging Chris to try to have sex with their mother, that's what caused it. It's really horrible and unfortunate. And that doesn't mean that there's no criticism to leverage onto Chris Chan, but we need to be aware of all the surrounding environmental impacts that I think are the majority reason why this person ended up engaging with their mother. You know, and you don't have to say that Chris is a good person, because I don't think that they are. But at the very least, we should be examining the profound negative impacts of online trolling and bullying, especially of people in the like with intellectual or developmental disabilities. Because it's crazy, man. And a lot of this bullying, the fact that there's a 70-part documentary, all these different things, and I'm not going to lie, I've contributed to it as well by engaging with the content too, but all of these different things are what caused his mother to be put in that situation. Chris is definitely part of it, but you just think for a sec, do you think all of this would have happened if not for the massive online gaslight? Probably not. And it really is time for us to have a conversation about the way we interact with people with, disabilities on the internet. Because as funny as it might be to troll this person, it's caused some real harm. And people are part of it. People are part of it. It's just a reality of the world. Anyway, as he was deemed incompetent to stand trial on the 3rd of May, Chris was transferred back to the Central Virginia Regional Jail, having been restored as competent to stand trial. In July 2022, the last hearing with the J&DR court's jurisdiction occurred, and the case was elevated to the circuit court, where it was sent to a grand jury for potential felony charge. I find it interesting because somebody in the chat said Chris has never held accountability or responsibility for anything. I feel like that's not true. What you're saying, I think I very much disagree with. When you look at it in a formal capacity, I understand where you're coming from, right? Like, I get it. They'll do bad things, and then, like, this is an instance, and they basically get let out of jail. But you look at every other aspect of their life. They tried to have a relationship with somebody. The person stole their PlayStation account or whatever, told to shove the medallion up their ass. They never had a friend. Nobody ever actually cares about this person. Like, there's different... I don't think that Chris has never been held accountable for anything. I mean, I think that it's just different. People are more charitable, of course, to them based on their circumstances, but they've never had like a fulfilling life. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a like, oh, she's so privileged. When you say that, it's like, I don't think so. Would you rather be Christian? Would you rather be Christian? Probably not. I wouldn't want to be Christian. That'd be horrible. I'd rather get arrested than be in the circumstances she's in. What do you think about Christine being allowed to continue making content on YouTube? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question. I think I'm going to answer that on the podcast on Sunday. So if you pop in, ask me that question. I'm going to think about it because there's a lot to think about. There's different aspects of it. There's the aspect of what she did wrong. There's the aspect of like the slippery slope of YouTube policing some content, especially when legally they weren't charged, right? There's a lot of different aspects. So yeah. I disagreed with the decision because I disagreed with the decision too. They should have charged her and then put her in some kind of like a mental facility or something. But I guess that they're saying that since that they were in the facility, I don't really know. They decided to drop it. Yeah, good question. Where I think that Chris stands with Israel or Palestine. That's a great question. Anyway, the grand jury hearing was postponed with a continuance. A motion by Chris's lawyer for an autism disorder deferred deposition was filed to be considered by the court. Shortly after Chris's case was sealed, though bits of information still emerged. By the 11th of August, the case file was updated to note that a waive right to indictment and transportation order were added to the review of Chris Chan's case. What does a waive the right to an indictment mean? I just want to look that up. A waiver of indictment shall be evidenced by a written instrument which shall contain the name of the court. Okay. It doesn't say a waiver of indictment. It says waive the right to an indictment. I think I look up says a waiver of an indictment. Maybe that's what it refers to. Yeah, Chris is dangerous to themselves and other people. Absolutely. Absolutely. And transportation, okay, added the case. In January 2023, another review was scheduled to take place on the 27th of January. This resulted in a continuance to the 14th of February, 2023. Valentine's Day. Wow. So many holidays. My birthday, Valentine's Day. Couldn't get any better. Which was later rescheduled to the 13th of February. This resulted in a continuance to March 7th, 2023, which subsequently resulted in another continuance. On the 27th of March, Chris was reported by VineLink as either bonded out or released by a court order from custody on April 3rd, 2023. The Greene County Circuit Court followed up with a release order. Chris spent a year and 7 months behind bars. In August 2023, Chris's incest charge was dismissed. I wonder if they found all the pretext to this situation. They're like, you know what? We don't want to engage in all that. So okay, that's a good little rundown. I'm certainly not going to go through all of this. I just wanted to go through the quick little rundown of it, not this whole article. This is crazy. This is too well documented. It's actually scary. What I want to get into next is the phone call conversation to refresh myself of what's going on before we get into the actual video. I don't think that that's necessarily like I want to refresh. I want to recap a little bit, right? So we're gonna do that, and let's see.
Throw a quick. I feel uncomfortable. The high hour.
This person's just got like a little pretext.
A long listen. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure you guys got a proper warning.
Incest fanfics have come true and shit.
I didn't even know there was such a thing. I didn't even know there was incest fanfics.
Oh, they're talking about people writing incest. That's crazy.
Were there about you and Barbara? I can't believe that. I didn't even think that. I knew that you guys had a good relationship, but I always thought, because I'm not huge.
And this is one of the problems, too. Again, we have somebody that has a warped reality or a warped perception of the world, not just because of their autism, but because of this, because people constantly like reinforcing them very incorrectly over and over again. And this is one of those people. You know, there's some massive issues here.
Huge on Christery and, you know, whatever. I just thought that the whole Sonetry franchise was very interesting, and that's how I got into you when I was younger, right? But I didn't have any idea that Barbara was, that Barbara and you had that sort of relationship. I never got any of those vibes. But how did you approach her?
The one good thing is I remember like everybody collectively on the internet saying that this person was like insane. Like the Isabella Janke person was like unhinged and very bad person.
Approached her with care and caution.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a time approach. So I just gave her comfort and talked with her, and we just branched out slow and steady, and then
Why is the Chris Chan picture in the back morphing into him from being a kid to an adult? It's so weird.
I encouraged her positively, let her make the first move. And she wanted to do it. And
she did? Really?
We don't even like, I mean, regardless, it's inappropriate. They have dementia, but either way, I wonder, like, do you think that's even true? I mean, I don't even think that Chris understands what consent is, to be honest with you. So I doubt that it was like, yeah, I knew she wanted to do it. What the fuck?
You made the first move?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, Barbara. How did she do it, if you don't mind me asking? What was the first move?
I don't remember exactly. Well, that was her first move, but my approach was... I forgot exactly what terminology and approach I used, but I approached with care and caution.
That's good.
And I was direct and upfront with her for the most part.
That's good. And how did she respond when you approached her? What did she say?
I don't remember remember exactly
All right,
what she said, but
I don't even want to listen to the rest of this. We're just gonna go to what they said. It's clear that they did it. It's clear that they had physically engaged with their mother. We'll call it. That thing is making me sick, to be honest with you. Listening to that. So but that's all I needed, is like the confirmation, and that seems to be the case there. But that's just making me fucking sick. So we're gonna move on to this. This is setting the record, dude. I'm fucking sickened right now. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. I don't know, maybe it was the picture, bro. Like I've been. This is sickening. I'm not like laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because this is so gross. Okay. Anyway, this has seen better days. The Sonic True Medallion. This looks like the one that Chris had inserted inside of them. So maybe that's why it looks like poopy. Let's see what we got here.
Hey everyone, Jesus Christy Western Chair
Christine, can you get your fucking audio corrected?
Archie Prime here, and right now I'm gonna set the record straight.
Great.
So just so y'all know, straightforward and blunt to the point.
Cool.
The reason I went to jail, the charge I was charged with,
Okay.
I was innocent.
Wow.
There never, ever, 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 ever was any sex between Barbara and I. Period.
Wow. Well, I wouldn't call it that either, because it wasn't consensual, and I don't consider that sex. So that's true. There we go. There's a level of truth there, huh?
Was innocent. I was innocent. I have a few bullet points to go through anyway. Shoot. I mean, where did we go to end up here? So obviously we got all the haters and fakers and the toxic sinners that tried to manipulate me and so much. I mean,
there's a level of truth to that. What's interesting though is if you listen to Christine talk about her sexual encounter with her mother and the atmosphere around it, it's gonna sound exactly like Andrew Tate. But everything is a conspiracy. There's some kind of messiah. I mean, Andrew Tate doesn't call himself a messiah, but he talks about how he's just speaking facts to the world in this weird, new, and unique way, which is not true. There's a lot of parallels.
That's a mess of good grief right there. Why did y'all have to do that? You all really erroneously misunderstood me, period.
I gotta put the closed captioning.
I
gotta put the CC on. Some people call it closed captioning. I call it Christian.
All mess up. I mean, shoot. Even y'all with your freaking smut fictions. I know some of you out of the minority that are the worst. Out of the majority being actually good.
Yeah.
Okay? You out of the minority. You've written those smut fictions. You shipped me with Barbara. You shipped me with that Snorlax.
Oh, well, if you think about it, if people are drawing pictures of Christine and her mother, then that goes into the chalk zone or whatever it's called, and now it's real. And so kind of our fault, I guess, for drawing the fan fiction. I don't even know if there was fan fiction ever in the first place. I have no idea how this was working out. I'm trying to make jokes because this shit's fucking disturbing the shit out of me. It's fucked up.
And I've seen worse shit. And Barbara was definitely not the perfect mother with me.
Well, that's definitely true. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Again, she had her when Barbara had Chris when they were older, and that made them less adequate at raising their kid, but that doesn't excuse the action.
There was not the perfect mother-daughter relationship there, period.
Wow.
Growing up.
Well, that makes sense also, because, it's just had a little bit of a shift from mother-son to mother-daughter at some point, so...
There was the times of abuse, even though there was the love and caring in there and throughout. But that was a whole different kettle of fish right there.
Sure.
But yeah, the bullying!
What's interesting, though, is I've never seen, and maybe I'm just not educated enough on this Chris story, but I've never seen Chris express any type of issue with Barb being some form of abusive, and that means that there are one of two possibilities, at least to me. One is that she's just making it up to try to deflect criticism, which is perfectly is possible. The other is that Chris talked to a therapist in jail and that therapist helped them put labels or words or understandings of different things that happened in the past. And so I wouldn't doubt that either, because they were in some kind of jail, prison, whatever, for a year and 7 months, right? I believe we just read that. And so I'm sure, or I would assume, that there was access to mental health facilities or mental health, anything in general. So I really wouldn't doubt that that's part of it. So it, I guess take your pick of which one it is, or maybe it's a little bit of both, So, but I'm leaning more towards the concept that it's from therapy. And then it's also possible that she heard things from her therapist and she's creating a victimhood narrative. There's so many different possibilities. I'm leaning more towards the therapy, though. I think that's a big part of it.
The terrorizing and all that, they really fucked me up. I feel so...
Apparently, Cole Smithy, this is just an apparently. Chris's half-brother or something says that Barbara was very abusive to him as well. Okay, I wouldn't doubt it.
Just enough said right there. Really fucked me up. The bullying, the terrorizing and all that, they really fucked me up.
Yeah, that's true. I think that they talked to a therapist because this is exactly what I think happened.
I feel so... Just enough said right there. But hey, you're never gonna make me commit suicide, period.
Well, that's... Jesus Christ.
That was the attention that Bella had.
I actually might want my wife to watch this. This is interesting.
Her chopped and screwed up recordings with all the attention and manipulating me into that. But
True.
hey, I foreknew she was gonna do that. I tested her. At the time, I only...
You tested her? If you tested her and still did it, then that would mean that you're really guilty. So I don't think that's true.
I treated her like, just as a friend, try to get her to be on the good side.
Didn't Isabella want to, pretend to be with Chris in some capacity?
But obviously she failed. Just like I foreknew the relationship between Dylan and Taylor, that was not gonna last. He abused her.
Who the fuck is Dylan and Taylor? Is this like a Sweet Life and Zach and Cody? Taylor Swift? Dylan O'Brien? What the fuck is he talking? What is this person talking about? Are they talking about Dylan O'Brien and Taylor Swift? I'm so confused. I don't even know. Maybe I'm missing part of the lore. There's so much to go through.
I gave her support on that live stream when I went on there.
Okay, I'm thinking
just
of
support and kindness, because I appreciate her as an artist and an individual.
Gotcha.
Which is more than I could say for Dylan at the time.
I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I'm so confused.
Bella was gonna actually record me and Fifi having done something at the hotel had I actually made it to BabsCon. But fortunately, that didn't quite happen. She one way or another, she would have got me into jail or tried to get me to commit suicide on the whole different that. But hey, she failed.
Maybe Liquid Chris.
She didn't do that. I took the initiative in my own hands, so I let divine intervention and timing and everything just let me go to jail, spend my time.
I think Liquid Chris's name is also Christopher.
Suffering and spending the time for your sins, you fucking toxic ones.
Ah, yes. Basically, what's happening is that Christian went to jail for our sins, just like Jesus Christ was crucified. It all makes sense now. Apparently Fifi, I don't know if this is true. Fiona is the young autistic woman, 18, 19 years old at the time, who hyperfixated on Chris's point of developing a sort of genuine self-admiration and crush. Wow, incredible. I wonder if the smell broke that. Sorry. Okay.
And I meditated and learned everything. I am Jesus Christ reincarnated.
Jesus Christ. God damn. Damn. You really got to flare that one up. Jesus Christ? What the fuck?
I am the one avatar of all existence, and I'm going to see that there is nothing but good and righteousness and light-powered individuals, and encouraging all the neutrals to be good. Period. Just like I'm trying to do.
Period. Facts.
Doing this video and statement right now, setting the record straight. But I was proven innocent. And they couldn't place me anywhere, which is why they kept me in jail for so long. Because
I mean, I don't know if I'd say proven innocent. To me, if I had to make an assumption, I think that they dropped the case because it wasn't worth the resources. They have somebody that clearly has not only significant issues with their mental health, but also, well, just in general, their mental health. They probably talked to a counselor and heard all the fucked up shit that was going on where they get relentlessly bullied on the internet on top of their autism. And they probably briefly looked up and saw a 70-part document. I wouldn't doubt it. Or saw something on the internet about Christian. Somebody probably Googled her. Like, let's be real. Why wouldn't you do that if you're like an investigator or a lawyer? Her own lawyer probably Googled her and was like, holy shit, I'm going to bring this to the judge. I think that had everything to do with it. It doesn't mean this person innocent. I think it's more of like, this is just like a bottomless pit to dive into. They were already in like holding in some capacity, jail, prison for a year and change. It's like, what do you really do? If I was a prosecutor, if I was not a terminally online prosecutor and I was working this case, I would look at this. I would look at their mental health issues, the bullying, everything, the fact that they're really recorded online. I would look at that and go like, wow, this is a lot of information. I'm gonna have a therapist talk to them and then we'll just figure it out from there, because I don't think it's worth our resources. Because when you retract and you from the internet and you look at the broad scale of things, like, this person isn't a dangerous predator. They're not a good person, in my opinion, but they're not a dangerous predator. And so, like, they're going to use their resources on actual dangerous predators. This is a person who needs to be mostly kept away from their mother and only seeing their mother under supervision because they've developed a really inappropriate relationship with them. But they're not like a predator. They're not going to go out and start doing this to other people. At least not from what I've seen. I don't think that that's a reasonable assertion. I could be wrong, but that's how they're looking at it. That's how they're probably looking at it. So
they didn't know what to do with me. They didn't know what to do with somebody was freaking autistic that you weren't putting your words in. Ish.
Maybe they just want to get it away from you because you're so fucking weird.
They didn't know what to do. They just kept me in jail. They didn't know where to place me. But fortunately, they did know where to place me eventually. So that happened. I'm safe and doing better. Okay? Cool. But I did nothing wrong, and only the certain individuals online, they had wrongfully manipulated and controlled.
It's both. They manipulated you, but then also you did still do a wrong thing. And the lack of acceptance of that is a very negative thing. I think that Chris takes I don't know what's going on in that fucking head. I wonder, I think Chris probably interprets this as they have done nothing wrong at all. Rather than the relationship needs to be, I've had like a lot of issues with the way I've interacted with the world, but part of it's not my fault, right? There needs to be a level of like personal accountability to make a change moving forward. But
me and my own narrative, but no more. I take control of my own narrative from now on. Not you lot of haters and fakers.
Okay.
I am a much better individual than that. Y'all should have known better than me.
You should have stayed off the fucking internet. I don't know why you're coming back to the internet. That's the part that's really fucking weird.
And that is enough with the mislabelings and the misconceptions. That's enough. And the whole lot of the set's commentary was me being misled by the suggestion that those individuals, especially those theoretical exes of mine. And I was proven innocent by court of law and released.
Okay.
Simple as that. And also just putting this out there, just do not be an ableist. I mean, those of you neurotypical, thinking you're able, whatever, there is at least one thing that is totally disabled about you, period. So damn.
Yeah, my fucking fascination with the topic of Christian is what makes me fucking disabled. Let's be real, man. Like, what the hell? This is the brain rot. I'm fucking skeeved out, dude. I feel like the person giving us advice not to be ableist probably should be somebody who's not Christian. That's just my hot take. It's the hottest take I've ever had in my life. But I think that this maybe isn't the best person to be giving us advice.
Do not hate others for things that you are yourself.
Fat. Oh, don't hate other people who are fat, I guess.
There is no need to hate on anyone. Or even yourself.
Oh yeah, what about Hitler, huh? You piece of shit. Just kidding. Obviously. Obviously, there are people worth hating. That my point. You get my point.
A flaw is a flaw. A blessing is a...
I wonder if any certified therapists that have YouTube channels have reacted to Chris. I don't know. That's interesting when it comes to that. I feel like a I feel like I don't know if you could ever get a certified therapist that has a YouTube platform to ever give you like an honest answer to the situation. And here's why I think that. I think the one that the internet, the air of the internet will generally or almost always have a way in on people. And if you're a large content creator, you're going to be very beheld to audience capture. And I don't think that an intelligent, nuanced take about Chris Chan is ever acceptable, to be honest with you. Number two, you'd really have to know the real depths of the Chris Chan lore to understand and properly diagnose them. But I imagine if you already understood that depth of that lore, then you would probably be a fan. And then at least to number three, where I think it would be a conflict of interest. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'm being too harsh about it. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see what a therapist would have to say about Chris Chan. Sorry, I don't mean to yield.
Blessing and a flaw can be a blessing in disguise. So you meditate on that.
Yeah, that's what I say about my small wiener.
Stop hating
True.
for such a flaw.
True that. Okay.
And I am a living, breathing individual,
Same.
and I am not to be objectified in any way anymore.
Same. I really should have stayed off the internet.
But yeah, in that Bella was the real sex criminal, and that she really wanted to try to get me in something. She's the real criminal.
Probably, yeah.
Fucking bitch! Calling her out!
Wow, got her.
Call her out. Isabella Jenkins. She's the real sex criminal, period.
Maybe.
She does.
I mean, maybe you could argue
A
that.
whole mess of adulteration and manipulation and things in her own words and attitude and insinuations and everything.
Okay. Sure.
Okay? But to end this on a more positive note...
Is this like performative breathing? There's just some of these weird moments where Chris like almost does a performative action after saying something. Like performative sighing. It's so weird. It's just, okay.
So the girl y'all had seen me with in the past few weeks, I'll tell you a little something about her.
Oh yeah, I forgot. People said that she had a girlfriend or something now.
She's a friend of mine, and I refer to her only as Flutter.
Okay. How am I supposed to... Okay.
Because she likes Fluttershy. Okay?
Great. I like meatloaf.
I met her in Lynchburg. She got in touch with me while...
Lynchburg? That's a state? What? Where is Lynchburg? That sounds like some... That sounds really bad. Virginia? What the fuck? Virginia? Why do you think they called it Lynchburg? Oh, that's fucked up. What the fuck? Change the name of that right now.
I was in jail. And we managed to meet. We managed to bond and connect with each other as friends.
Cool.
And she is literally 30 years old despite her...
Have I seen the picture? No. Chris Chan and Flutter. Let's see. Where's the picture? Oh, I don't see anything. Oh, here's the picture, guys. It's right here. Found it. Incredible. There's the picture. We found it. Where's this picture? How the fuck do I access it?
Her physicality. But anyway,
What?
despite her physicality.
She's 30 years old. I guess she looks young. Okay.
But anyway,
Yeah, she goes to a different school.
pretty much straightforward right there, letting you know about that.
Start the clock until how long it takes for us to dox the real name. Yeah, true.
And I felt like I just need to say all that. Clear the air. There is nothing wrong with being associated with me, period. I am sick and
It was founded by John Lynch. That's why. Oh, okay. Sorry. Gotcha.
tired of being blocked by anyone, including and especially by those of whom I appreciate. And I do have friends that do have great appreciation of me, which more than I can say than...
Who has great appreciation for you? I feel like I'm the most... Sorry, I'm not... This is the first thing that comes up, Megan Schroeder. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's not a girlfriend. Who the fuck is this Flutter person? I cannot find this. This is so bizarre. Is this them? Newest sweetheart. Mature content. What the hell? This is from 27 days ago. So apparently this is the girl. I don't know why it's labeled mature content, but we're fun. That's all we got? Wow. Every day I dream of you. All right, cool.
I mean, you all, even Megan Schroeder, had your chance to actually be kind and compassionate and friends with
Megan
me
Schroeder.
for a longer run.
Okay.
'Cause that's
This is like Chris Chan's jokester arc. Kind of jokester, I guess.
enough said right there.
Yeah, she doesn't look 12. I don't know why people call her she doesn't look 12. She looks like an adult. She just looks like she enjoys anime.
I
Okay.
feel like I need to get that off.
Okay.
Otherwise, I might have had to sleep
Well, just don't get that off in your mom and you'll be okay.
tonight. Thank you.
Okay. That dude, this thumbnail is insane. Okay.
I know.
Oh, it's Gibby, I think. All right. Well, that was something. Yeah. That's something. Cool beans. Good video. Jesus.